I think it is recording, Amanda. It is recording. That means it's time once again for your Europe Ed Tech Roundup.
Roundup. We need to get we got our outro. We need to get an intro now. We
Welcome to the Roundup, ladies and gentlemen.
roundup.
There it is. Roundup. It is going to be an intimate conversation today. You've just got me and Amanda.
Yay! A and B.
That's right, A and B, which is appropriate because I will actually be joining Amanda very soon in the Europe West District.
Yay! Insert
Yes.
sound.
So Amanda and I will be a Wonder Twin power duo over there in the West. I've will be transferring over to be the ETISS in the UK side of the West District and super excited about that. But don't fear, Europe South is not without their support. Chad Jimison, who was on last week with us, will be or is the ETISS located in Naples. And then eventually there will be another person in this position here in Vicenza. But
And he's on the ground running. So if you are in the South, you are more than welcome to reach out to Chad. I'm sure he's waiting. He's waiting.
yeah,
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 he hit the ground running.
he did. And he's got the skills to pay the bills. But yeah, he's doing in processing today, so he couldn't be with us. And Jeffrey, Mr. Lee, is, as I think he has said, probably snuggle wuggling with his young children's. He's on paternity leave for a while, so we won't be hearing from Jeff. But Jeff, we know you're out there. We miss you. We
Yes.
love you.
Yes, enjoy those babies while you can, because you blink and they're, grown and you have adult money problems with your kids, right?
Older kids, more problems. Yeah, yeah, I know that. They grow up, but they certainly don't uh,
You don't stop being a parent.
you don't stop being a parent. No, but it's great when they're little. So Jeffrey, we hope you're enjoying that. Kevin is off. I think he's also taking care of some family members out there in the world, so we wish him the best as well. Everybody will be back soon enough. Now that things have opened up again,
Yay!
we've got all kinds of people back in on the scene.
Oh, we
We
got
know
more body parts coming.
we got so many more body parts coming. So now that the wheels of the big government are turning again, we will have more people hopefully joining us here on the podcast in the future. So
It'll be a little bit crazy.
additional ETs in Europe Central, additional ET in Europe East. So we will be, gosh, there'll be 8 of us eventually.
A lot.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a whole
And
gang.
And then we always have Radley, he's there at the region office. But
Who
we
came back
couldn't,
to work,
he just came
right?
back, so it was great to see his face again. Gosh, we should have had him see if he could join us here, but oh well.
With his how many other emails that he's gonna have to check, right? Because can you imagine coming into, like, I'm sure some people have, like,
Oh,
thousands of emails depending on where
oh,
you're at in the chain, right? Like, oh my
just
gosh.
the pile
And
that has
and
built up.
I watch the social media, it's like, maybe I should just delete everything and start new, but send out
To
an email?
me, I think that's fair. I think if you're out of the office, it's your out of office should be if you send me an email, it is going directly to the garbage can and I will talk to you when I get back.
Yeah, yeah,
Wouldn't that
yeah.
be great?
Yeah, that would be nice, and, who says we can't? Put it in your
That's true.
signature, right?
That's true.
And speaking of email signatures,
Oh,
I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but
please.
here's a segue into just a little bit into tech talks, right? You did a calendar whole session this week that was amazing.
So
Absolutely amazing. Not new tech, but sometimes we just need a refresher or we got new buttons to push, right?
Well, speaking of calendars, Amanda, you should have looked at the calendar and saw that that was actually last week.
Oh,
But
but it was
I always
great.
appreciate the shout out. Yeah, that was last Thursday, I think, but we were off a little bit this week.
Or a lot.
So
Some of us were off a lot and
that's
not
all
off
right.
of work.
That's okay. So we'll get the roundup here in a bit. But I do what also happened last week, which was really cool, is that we had Jessica Tackaberry on the podcast, who is the acting DoDEA public affairs officer.
It was
Um,
powerful.
let's say it again.
It was very powerful. I wasn't there, but I didn't watch it. I listened to it on my
Hmm.
car ride in last week, or no, sometime this week, and it was powerful what she had to say. Some of the information I didn't know, like, I'm always thinking like I'm a federal government employee and it's like
Hmm.
full stop to all social media, but that's not the
Hmm.
truth.
Right. Yeah, no, she was definitely gave some good guidelines on what you can and cannot post as a government employee and just how to separate your kind of personal life from your work life. So go back and listen to that episode 7 interview with Jessica. And if you out there in the listening audience, I think maybe there's 7, maybe 10 of you listening to the podcast. We appreciate that. If you would love to be a guest here on the Europe EdTech Roundup, just let your friendly ETISS know, and we would love to have you on and have you chat with us here on the podcast.
And that goes for anybody, right?
Yeah.
If you're an educator and you wanna come on the podcast and showcase something great that you're doing, reach out to us. We can work around your schedule and your planning period. Now, granted, no sub time
Oh,
involved
yeah. Got to say that.
situation, but, we will be flexible, and,
That's right.
we're calling you, region people, we're calling you, to those 10 people that are listening.
Hey, principals,
Yes.
superintendents, maybe even directors of student excellence.
Yes,
That
all
could
of
be
them,
on the horizon. We don't
all
know.
of them.
Um, yeah, so we were really excited to have Jessica with us last week, and we look forward to any other future guests. I think Amanda, you were trying to get our Europe webmaster on the
Yes.
schedule.
Yes, Mr. Jason, and he agreed pre-shutdown, so we're just gonna revisit that, and that will be coming up soon, and he's gonna talk all things, 508, so all those assisted, not necessarily assisted technology, but, when it comes to, like, dyslexia fonts or
Mm,
colors in a PowerPoint presentation or a
yeah,
PDF, or if you produce a video, we need closed caption type situations. So all
yeah,
those ins and outs that we do, but sometimes we forget,
right.
right? So yeah,
Being
that
really intentional about the accessibility aspect of content that we put in websites, content that we put in presentations, just and I think this has been said before that something that is accessible to someone with a disability is also accessible to everybody. So we all kind of benefit from
ding
these
ding ding ding
things.
ding ding, insert ding 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 ding, because that's really powerful, right? Really powerful. And that goes into wait, tier one instruction. Oh, you see that connection? Oh,
Dang, are you MTSSing us right now?
yes.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
always, right?
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's kind of the news of the week so far. So let's go ahead and get into Tech Talk recap.
For this week and not last week,
For
right?
this week and not last week. Well, you can go back to last week. Yeah, so there we were off on Tuesday for Veterans Day, so we did not have a Tech Talk on Tuesday. And then yesterday, I presented some features of Schoology and Peardeck that support formative assessment. The big thing I was stressing in that session was formative assessment really starts with the standard and what you're teaching. So knowing the standard that you're teaching and translating that standard into a learning objective for students, and then more specifically, turning that into success criteria, I can statements, learning targets that students can read and look at and understand exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Once you've done all that work, then you can set up how am I going to check students along the way to see if they are indeed being successful, working towards the learning objective and mastering the standard. So that was kind of the big message about setting up or getting ready for formative assessment. And then just looking at, within Schoology, it's a learning management system. It has the features that allow you to set up a digital classroom. So the usual things like assignments and quizzes and tests and a discussion board. Those are kind of the four main features we looked at in Schoology. And one of the areas I pointed out that I think teachers used with Flipgrid, if you remember that old tool.
Oh, it's not
Um,
around anymore. Let's
it's
just
not
put
around
that out
anymore,
there.
but there
But
were teachers.
what's all our alternative?
So in this case, in Schoology, if you use the assessment, so there's one called test quiz and another one called assessment. And if you go into the assessment, it has a question type that is video.
Oh.
And so you can create an assessment and choose the video question type and then assign it to students and allow students to record a video and
Oh,
then turn
wow.
that in. So it could be a way to do a formative assessment with students using video the same way that teachers were using Flipgrid. So that was interesting.
That's
Um,
powerful.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And then Schoology is kind of the one platform where we have the discussion format, where you pose a question, then
Like
students
a
can answer the
stream
question.
in Google
Yes,
Classroom, right?
like a stream in Google Classroom.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the big main ones. And then just, an assignment is a pretty straightforward piece of Schoology and Google Classroom, but you could think of it as a formative assessment in that I'm going to give students some instructions on doing something. They do it. You can attach a rubric to it. And in that case, I was just doing kind of a more or less a checklist like, does
Mm.
my assignment meet this criteria? Yes, no.
Uh-huh.
They can grade themselves on that and then turn it in, and the teacher can provide feedback inside the assignment. So, not thinking of it as so much like a final, you turn it in and then you get a grade, but it's kind of something they could build on. So
Those
just
quick
using
checks
that.
along the way.
That's right. And then Peardeck, much like Lumio, is a platform that will take slides and content and turn it into an interactive platform for students. So it just showed the features of Peardeck, which is that they have a polling feature, a question feature, a draggable feature. They do have, you can add audio to slides, but that's for a teacher to add audio directions. It's not, doesn't really work the other way. So Pear Deck, I mean, essentially was made for the purposes of checking along the way. So if you're in a situation where you're presenting content to students on a slideshow, you can use Pear Deck to add interactive features that will allow students to check along the way. And one of the things we looked at was the drawing feature and the fact that students have touchscreen Chromebooks.
Yeah.
Um, and many of those came with stylus and they could turn their Chromebook into a kind of tablet mode and draw on it in Pear Deck. And then as the teacher, you would have every single student what they're drawing. And on the teacher side, you can see what everybody's doing. Something we looked at within Pear Deck that's kind of just built into it is when you start the Pear Deck, it has a question, how are you feeling today? And there's a happy face, a kind of a straight face, and then a sad face. And somebody mentioned how they just use those at maybe even the beginning of the day, at the beginning of class. And when students click on that on the teacher side, you can actually see which of those faces they clicked. Um,
Oh,
so nice.
that's great data.
Yeah, formative way of knowing like, well, how are my students actually feeling? And if somebody's feeling sad, you could check in with them, or, maybe that's why they're not as participating as much in class. So that was Thursday. Looking forward to next week. I didn't even look to see what we were going to be doing next week, but
Oh, I didn't
we're-
either, but I got it
we'll
open.
have a couple tech talks next week. Hopefully we'll be back in full strength. Tech Talk website is the place where we keep all of the schedule for the upcoming ones. And looking forward to the 18th, we are sticking with formative assessment. And this time we're going to be focusing in on Seesaw and Wixie. So that will be for K-5 teachers only. And then on Thursday, we're going to be looking at learning activity templates. And this again is looking in Seesaw, Wixie, and Lumio. So these are the kind of pre-made content that comes with those platforms. And again, this is an elementary. So it's elementary week next week.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. So K-5 teachers, that will be focusing on you. So there you go. That's our Tech Talk Roundup for
That's
this week.
exciting.
That
Exciting.
takes us to glitters and glitches.
Yay, glitters and glitches. I'm sure y'all missed glitters and glitches last week. I was wondering if
Oh my
anybody
God.
was gonna pick it up.
I was gonna chime in.
Yeah, but we had Jessica on, so we didn't need it, right? We didn't
No.
need it. That's okay, and that's okay. The biggest glitter that we don't wanna gloss over this week is that, a CR was passed, so we're good for a bit, so hopefully
Yes.
soon we will be getting a paycheck. So that's a
Yes.
huge glitter,
That would
and
be
we
nice.
do just like everyone listening, all 10 of you, like, that affects us as well. It's hard to come to work when you're not getting paid, but we do it for the students, and that's why we all come, but it is nice to know that's in the works, right? So
Yes.
that's a big glitter. That's a big glitter.
For sure.
A glitch. Let's see. We had a lot of chatter about Minecraft this week.
Mm.
And this actually goes to thank you to the people that posted it on the shared channel because honestly, we didn't know there was a glitch
Mm-hmm.
in the universe until somebody posted it on the channel. And then Brian, I think you said, "Hey, can you send me the ticket number? Or if you haven't put in
Mm-hmm.
a ticket, can you send it in so we can follow through?"
Mm-hmm.
And perfect. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
And that's how we know things don't work, ladies and gentlemen, is from you all because you guys are the experts, educators in the field, right?
Yep.
So we knew that Minecraft was down, put in the ticket. So that goes for anything, really. If something is down, put in the ticket. Don't be afraid to put it on that shared channel so we can follow through. Like take it off your plate and let us do our work. So, and then
Yeah.
we can go get in the ears of IT and the ears of anybody that listen, really.
Yeah. The people who we need us to help fix
Right.
these things.
Right. But we don't know what we don't know. So
Yes.
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Another thing we talked about is somebody was looking for Jamboard alternatives, and it
Mm.
was kind of weird because I had an email and then there was a post from a separate person. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like everyone wanted to use Jamboard this week, which is
Yeah.
great. Love that we're using the tech. But some Jamboard alternatives that we discussed. Don't forget Lumio. There is
Yeah.
a great tech talk on Lumio that Kevin and Bryan did. You could always use Peardeck. And honestly, like if you just need a thought partner, you really could use Gemini or Coco Copilot,
Mm-hmm.
but you could also
Mm-hmm.
reach out to one of us, right?
That's right.
One of your district ETs and we can schedule a meeting or chat back and forth or email back and forth and figure out what is the end goal and what is the best alternative. So that was great. Hey, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, it is
Figure it out.
interesting that there's folks still asking about Jamboard, and I think Jamboard has been expired for a good couple years. But I'm glad it's on their mind. And
Yes.
again, if you need a platform that is an interactive whiteboard, or you're presenting content to students and you want them to interact with that content, really Lumio is a
Yep.
great tool for that. Pear Deck also does it. Pear Deck doesn't necessarily have just the plain whiteboard feature. You do have to set up a Google Slides with Pear Deck first. So you can certainly do that. You could have a blank slide and students could write on it like a whiteboard. But both of those tools would be the main replacement for a Jamboard-like platform.
And in Lumio, the one of the features that I love is actually just called Whiteboard,
Yeah.
right? And then the great thing about both of those features, Lumio and Peardeck, is you get all that data. The teacher collects all of that data. And it's also a formative assessment.
Hey,
Right?
there we
Hey, look
go.
at that. Back to tier 1 instruction and NPSS today.
Calling it back, keeping it
Yes.
all in the
Yes.
family.
Yes. And one last thing that I have to discuss is so a while ago we district ETs kind of had a meeting with the vendor of Hour of Code, which is
Mhm.
run by or bought or I believe Microsoft owns Hour of Code if I'm not
Something like that.
mistaken, something like
Yeah.
that. It's in the Microsoft world. But
Mhm.
anyway, Hour of Code is on ClassLink. For those of you that don't know, it is approved. It's on ClassLink. If you need it, you can go up and add the app in the little plus. If you need help with that, reach out to one of your district ETs.
Mhm.
But let me get to the point. Hour of Code has developed Hour of AI, and it's
Mm.
inside Hour of Code. It
Okay.
took me a minute to get there. I had to log into Hour of Code. I had to go to the course catalog and then click the little code in the top left
Mhm.
and then click on an AI thing. So if you need a walkthrough of that, reach out to one of us. We can help you. But there it looks like it was I believe it's geared towards 9-12 students right now. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't dive into it because I
Mhm.
was just trying to make sure we could get to it first. But I'm
Sure.
definitely going to take a look at that. And so that's exciting. I'm sure more to come on that.
Yeah, we're
So,
gonna be now again that our friends at headquarters are back.
yes.
We have got our strategic team that's working on AI in DoDEA, and they are actually promoting the presidential AI
Nice.
challenge. So something like this, Hour of AI, could potentially work alongside that challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a combination of tools,
Yeah.
right? Depending on what your problem is. So yeah, that's a good point. That's excellent, Brian. And of course, there's other tools you can use.
Yes.
On the, digital, learning page, which is
Yes.
linked in your shared channel at the top, on the
Indeed.
left is a list that we try to keep updated, and it's
Hmm.
searchable for you to look at all the resources that are available. Maybe you teach 5th grade, maybe you only want 5th grade things to come up and you can search by grade level. So that's kinda
Yes.
cool. That's kinda cool. So check that out too. Check
And
that out
then
too.
in there, I think is also there's in the digital learning SharePoint page that would get you to the AI Hub
Yep.
and the AI Hub for teachers, because that's a kind of an internal site for teachers to go and look at. It will tell you there is a page about AI in DoDEA, and there it lists all of the approved tools for teacher use and some of the tools that are available for students. There's some tools that they can use without having to log in. So all of that information is on the AI Hub, which is really our main page for information about AI use in our school.
Right, and even though, like, when we sometimes think of AI, we think of the standard Gemini, Copilot,
Hmm.
ChatGPT, those things, but, like, really, there's AI inside of Pear Deck that teachers
Yeah.
have available or AI inside of Adobe Express. I mean, a lot of things are becoming AI embedded, right?
Yes.
Or
Very
embedded
much.
AI, whichever one you wanna use.
Yep. That is very true. Many of these tools now have these kind of AI agents that work inside of them. So once you're logged into the platform, you have access to that thing. All right.
Yeah, and just a reminder that if you're not sure if you can use something or not, also on that digital learning play page, and I'm sure probably somewhere in the AI hub as well, is that flow chart
Oh,
that breaks
yeah.
down if you're able to use a tool or not. So and it always guys, if you're unsure, reach out to one of us.
Yeah.
Reach out to one of us. So
Post
and
it on the channel.
yes, yes, that because if you have the question, more than likely, there's 3 other people that have the question as well.
Yes.
At least. So,
Yes. All
and
right. So some
yep,
lovely glitters, some glitches that hopefully we worked through, but all
Yes.
the same, great to have glitters and glitches back.
Until we gotta go to another school, right?
That's right.
And but that's the great thing about having more of our body parts come on board is
Mhm.
because once we get our full body here, then you might not hear us every single time, like, we might be able to rotate because
Mix it up.
we are in the school, right? We are in the
Yeah.
school. So
Yes. Yes, yes. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it
oh,
for
yes.
this week.
Yeah,
Just
it's just the 2 of
a
us. We did
brief
it.
one. We did it
We
all
did
by
it.
ourselves.
We did it.
All right. Well, next week I think I'm going to be off because I'm actually on the road next week, making my way
All your
uh,
PCSing to the UK.
to the UK. So I probably won't be here next week, but hopefully you guys can keep things going. Uh,
You're leaving the sunny Italy and going to the cloudy
I'm
UK.
going into the clouds. Yes, yes, I've heard. That's okay. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get to work with the schools and the teachers up there in the UK and with
Yeah.
you, Amanda, in the
Yes.
West. So the next time you hear me, I will be.
Be the
Uh,
second part of me.
that's right.
We will
The
be
second part,
a double-headed monster.
Wonder Twins go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. As always, we want you to have fun with technology.
And we are going to tech to you later.